this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. It's actually Middlesex United away night tonight on the Pete Mezzetti Show, and we're honored to welcome Bill Hall and Whitney Mooney from the Middlesex United way. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks
Great
for
to be
having
here.
us.
How are you?
Excited.
Great.
Good.
I was saying before the show, this is the first time I've been on your show.
I know.
I've watched a number of your shows.
You've
in
been
studio.
behind the scenes of my
Yes,
show, but
yes.
you've never been on this side of the couch.
Yes, so I'm honored to be on the couch.
How are you, Bill?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. So, Bill, tell us a little bit about yourself and exactly what you do for the Middlesex United way.
Sure. So I work, I'm the marketing and communications director for Middlesex United Way.
Okay.
Sort of getting the word out about what we do, the programs and different agencies we work with. We cover all 15 towns that make up Middlesex County. So you know all 15 towns, I'm
Yes,
sure.
I do.
So my role with United Way is sort of just to spread the message about what we do, the programs that we serve, you know, the communities, different things like that, and just make sure everybody knows what we do. If there's services people need, you know, how can we help?
Right. And Whitney, what do you do with the United way?
I'm the development director, so I really work with individuals in the community to tell our stories. So I work really closely with Bill because we're telling stories, encouraging people to support the work we do so that we can increase our impact in the community. So a lot of grant writing, a lot of event planning, and just having conversations with people so they better understand the work we do.
You like it?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long have you been with the United way, Bill?
This month is 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yeah, time flies.
It does.
I started here right after the last time I was in here.
That's right.
Yep. In my past life.
I remember you in a past life.
Yep.
And how about you, Whitney? How long have you been with the
A
United way?
little over a year.
Okay.
Yeah. Celebrated my anniversary in May. So.
Oh, there you go. So what's new with the Middlesex United way in 2024?
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Shawanda, our CEO, was on last May, I believe, with you. And
I believe so.
yes, and a lot has changed since then. I mean, we sort of have a new group of people that we're working with in the office. Small staff, but small but mighty, we like to say. And I think in the past year, we've really grown our sort of outreach and, you know, trying to get to all 15 towns. We're based in Middletown.
Yes.
But as you know, we love coming down to the shoreline, so we want to make sure that we're in every single town. And I think in the past year, we've done a lot, would you say?
Oh, yeah.
In all the towns, we've come down to the shoreline. We were in Old Saybrook last month for a Saybrook event with the chamber. That was great. Madison, who you're going to meet in the next segment, and I were down here in Westbrook back in May for a great event they did.
Oh, nice.
So just a lot of getting out into the community.
Now let's talk about Alice. And data release since the last interviews. What's changed?
The numbers have gone up.
Okay.
So for those who don't know what ALICE is, it's asset limited income constrained employed. And so those are people who are trying to get by, you know, friends, neighbors, relatives. A lot of people are ALICE, but they might not know it.
Right.
It's people who don't quite, they don't get the benefits of SNAP, things like that. They don't qualify for a lot of those services.
Okay.
But they're still struggling to make ends meet. So, you know, you're choosing between a car bill or your medication.
Right.
You know, it's a daily struggle. People are working 2-3 jobs. And I think one of the misconceptions is that people think, oh, they must not be working hard enough, or they're not, you know, they're not working. That's not true. They are working sometimes more than one job. And so the numbers in the past year have gone up across the board. Middletown is our highest at 45%. 45% of Middletown is considered ALICE.
Oh, wow.
But surprisingly, down on the shoreline, that number is pretty high as well. So in Westbrook, I believe it's over 40%.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, Old Saybrook, which, you know, a lot of people think, okay, it's a shoreline community, a lot of wealth down here, that's 30%. So the numbers are staggering.
I believe we have a slide about Alice with the numbers. Let's take a look.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, you can see from the map, this is the updated map, you're seeing, you know, some of them are a little bit lower and some of them did drop a little bit, but most of them went up. And I think Old Saybrook, like if you look at the shoreline, you can see Clinton, Westbrook, Old Saybrook are higher than people might expect. Even Essex is 28% and Deep River 31%. So we actually have a QR code. If people can scan it, if they're watching, you know, on the TV, they can scan the code and they can look at the full report. And it just shows a lot of the different variables, different, you know, what the income levels are. And I suggest that people, if they can, read it because it's shocking. what's happening in your own community.
Right. And I'm sure you've read it.
Yes, I think we all have.
Both have, yeah.
Yeah.
More than once.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are staggering, but I think the big thing to think about is post-COVID, there's no more, extra stimulus checks. Those things that were helping people, stay afloat are now gone, and we're seeing those numbers rise because a lot of those support systems are kind of gone, and now people have to make up, the loss.
Right. Now, let's talk about the 211 and the 988 hotlines and exactly what they do and what they are.
Yeah, so the 211 hotline helpline is funded partially in Connecticut by the different United Ways. There's a few United Ways that fund the helpline itself.
Oh, okay.
So Middlesex United Way is one of those United Ways that helps fund it. A portion of our income goes to fund that program. And it's incredibly important. If you look at the graphic, you'll see over 283,000 calls came in across Connecticut in the past year. Now that's July of last year to June of this year. So a huge amount. In Middlesex County, 14,000 in just this past year.
Oh, wow.
And so, it's huge, the need. And, the top requests in our area are mental health and addiction and housing, but there's all sorts of things. Heating in the wintertime, cooling centers in the summer. I know this past few weeks we've had a lot of, we've had a heat wave.
Oh, yeah.
It's been super hot. If you go on 211, or you call, or you can go to the website.
Okay.
They have a whole list of cooling centers and swimming facilities, different things. There's just so many areas of support that it helps with people. And I just hope people really take advantage of the service.
Right.
It really is incredible. I've had friends and family I've sent over to 211, and you can research shelter programs in the area. And I think Connecticut's in a housing crisis right now.
Right.
And you can see that with the numbers of people looking at it, just looking for housing and shelter programs. But it's really cool because you can actually search based off the area you're in, and it
really?
shows
Cool.
you it. It's really fascinating too because they break it down like who qualifies for it, what information you need to get on the phone with them, so you're prepared before you even get on the phone with that shelter, and you're not kind of just going in blind.
Right. Now, what are some of the qualifications that you need to get in before you get on the phone?
With shelter and housing programs, a lot of time it's obviously low income. It's based off of need. A lot of times shelter programs will look at how urgent your need is. Are you in an unsafe housing situation? Are you chronically homeless where you have absolutely nowhere to go every single night?
Right.
And they look at those criteria to help get people the services they need as fast as possible. We also have a prevention fund through Middlesex United Way that helps keep people in their current housing situation, so people can call us, hey, I'm behind on my rent, I'm going to get evicted, I really need this support. So we come in and try to prevent people having to call 211 and find shelter programs by really getting to the source of the problem and helping people stay afloat.
Right. Bill, you have something you'd like to add?
Just the 211 itself, and even the 988 hotline. So the 988 hotline is specifically for people in crisis. So if, suicide, things like that. There are specially trained people working that call line. So if you call that number, they're going to get you the help immediately. Right. You're not waiting on hold, nothing like that. So it's really important. And we've seen, it's a newer line than 211. 211 I think has been around for a while, but 988 is incredibly important because it gets people access to services immediately. So I hope that people know, you don't have to qualify to call. To call 211 you can call for simple questions. Right. And there's going to be someone there to help.
Oh, cool. Now, tell us what the Middlesex United Way has been up to since last time you guys were on the show.
Yeah, I'm so much.
Yeah. One of the biggest things we've been really focusing on, like Bill said, is getting out into the community, but hosting events. Post-COVID, we want to bring our community back together. We want to get people out and celebrating the work that all of the nonprofits in our community that we help serve are doing. We recently did a event with Surfridge Brewing in Essex where they dedicated a beer to us, so $1 from every beer went back to us, and that's just educating people in Essex about the work we do. They walk in, there's information on Alice, there's information on 211, and then they can still have a good night out have some beer that supports us, but then they can take that information back to their communities. We've had people come up to us and say, I didn't even know 211 was a thing, and now I know I can support a friend who's been, somebody even told us the other day, a friend that posted something on Facebook, they were able to connect them to 211 to get the resources they need. So just being able to do events in the area and educate people on these resources it's just been incredible to watch, like the ripple effect.
Yeah. And to give a shout out to our Women United group, one thing that's happened in the past years, they brought back their Power of the Purse event, which is a huge fundraiser they did at the Middletown Elks this year.
Oh, okay.
And it's amazing to see these women come together and they pull this event together, and it's incredible. And the money that they raise from that is going to go to smaller grants, smaller programs, and specifically for women and children in Middlesex County. So that's another thing that's new this year since the last time we were on the show.
Now, how does the Shoreline differ from Middletown area in terms of Alice families?
I would say really the most important part for me probably over the past year that we've seen is just the perception. Yeah. I think if you look at Middletown, you're probably aware that there's people that are in need of help.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty common, it's the city of Middlesex County, but down on the shoreline, as we mentioned earlier, there's just as much of a need. There's seasonal employees that come in for the summer that may be in need of services. There's one of our grantees, which I know Madison will speak to later, they help with learning English. People can learn English.
Aha.
And so there's a lot of need down here that I think people just might not realize. And I think if they knew that their neighbors, their friends, their family were in need of help, they might be more willing to sort of lend a hand or, donate to these types of programs.
Okay. Would you guys mind sticking around for another segment?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
You matter.
You matter.
You matter.
And your words matter too.
Your words matter.
What you say in the hallways at school or in the student section at a game matters.
Words can be hurtful.
Words can be offensive.
Words can leave scars.
Words can also inspire,
support, and uplift.
You and your words.
Are they both important?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Come on in, come on in.
Welcome to Sure Things.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show.
Hello and welcome to Arts and Entertainment.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. It's Middlesex United Way night tonight on the Pete Mezzetti Show. And actually, we have a new guest joining us on the second segment. We got Bill Hall is sitting behind the scenes hanging out with us. So now we have Whitney and Madison. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you, Pete. Happy to be here.
So, Whitney, you were with us during the first segment with Bill. So let's open up this segment talking about community impact.
Sure.
And where do you guys want to start?
Sure. I can tackle the community impact. So I'm the community impact director for Middlesex United Way, so I oversee our grant making program.
Aha.
So I can give you a little bit of an update of what we've been up to this past year. We just closed out our latest grant cycle, and we just finished reviewing all of our applications.
Okay.
And at the beginning of this month, we just announced our new awardees, so our new grantees for this cycle. We're really excited that we went from 17 funded programs to now we are able to support 20 funded programs throughout Middlesex County. We're excited to have such an increase in our ability to support these programs, and they all fall within one of our 6 impact areas.
Okay.
And our 6 impact areas include education, housing, wellness, financial stability, racial equity and inclusion, and youth development.
Okay.
So every single program addresses one of these needs within the community. It may overlap somewhat, but every application falls into one. So we were really excited to announce these new awards this past month.
Yeah, and what's really cool too about it is the programs that we're funding also help combat the issues around Alice families, that we're bringing funding into these nonprofits that also help these families grow and thrive in Middlesex County.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how do you decide what grants get funded?
Sure. So we recently instated a 3-year on, 1-year off cycle. So to make sure that we're diversifying the way that we are funding programs. If a program receives 3 years of funding consecutively, they fall off for a year, opening an opportunity for some newer organizations. But in terms of eligibility, it has to be a 501c3. We want to make sure that we're funding nonprofits that are receiving support elsewhere throughout the community, and we want to make sure that their mission aligns with ours, as well as our strategic priorities throughout the various impact areas. But really, I have to give a shout out to my team of evaluators. I had a team of 8 volunteers work with me to evaluate every single application to make sure that based off of their merit, they were really working towards addressing the needs in the community in a variety of ways.
This was one of our highest grant years too, right?
Yeah, we received 24 applications this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was really exciting to see that a lot of the outreach that Bill has been doing and Whitney has been doing, telling the stories of the work that we're doing and the impact that we've been having, that it's really paid off because people now know to come back and to apply. And even if they're not applying for the grant, they're still reaching out to work with us in other ways.
And now, can you tell us a little bit about some of the partner agencies you've worked with over the past year?
Sure. We've worked with a number of agencies throughout Middlesex County. One of them is Habitat for Humanity. They're working on builds in both Cromwell and Middletown. They were able to streamline their process, going from traditional construction for housing to now they're using modular homes. So now they're able to increase the number of houses they're able to build every year. We support Middletown Pride, who just recently had their Pride Fest.
That's right. Pride Fest was not long ago. I saw it on the news.
Yeah, it was a huge success. We were tabling there. Whitney marched.
Awesome. The energy in the crowd. You know, there was one person I saw run, and like their mom gave them this huge hug. It was just like a moment of watching like just pure acceptance and love in a community. It was very cool.
Yeah, so we have a lot of very fortunate partnerships in the community. Another one is Shiloh Baptist. On their campus, they have 41 units for older adults in the community, but the program we support them in is their wellness. So they take these residents and they provide them with chair yoga, standing yoga opportunities, education on heart health as you get older in life, eating more nutritiously. They give them cooking demonstrations. They kind of help guide them into maintaining healthier lives for longevity. So they all fall within the different impact areas, but they all address the needs in their own unique way.
And I also see the Middlesex United Way has ramped up on its fundraisers since COVID. Can you tell me about some of the events that you've had and how'd they go?
Yeah, so we actually just had our first golf tournament in a long time. So it wasn't our first ever golf tournament, but there was a big hiatus, and we brought our golf tournament back. I'm really excited that it raised over $7,000 for our community, especially being one of our first like golf tournaments in a long time. It was exciting to see people come out and engage with us, golf, have a good day. We were at the Portland Golf Course. It was incredible to work with them. They're very nonprofit minded. Like they worked with me every step of the way to make sure that we had a great event. And it brings out new donors, it brings out new people that might support us in the future. And then what I'm very excited for that's coming up, and we hosted our first one last year, was our masquerade ball. So on October 24th, we're going to be hosting a masquerade ball. We're really excited about that. We're looking for sponsors right now.
I believe we have a graphic.
Yes.
There we go.
So we had people out on the dance floor for hours that night, and it really is, it's just a big fun dance party. We really wanted to bring the community back together, like I was talking in the earlier segment about, is, you know, we were isolated for 2 years. We want to bring people back out, like-minded people who support our mission, who support our community, and bring them out, have a good night, good food. We have an amazing sponsor in David Allen Catering out of, I believe, Berlin. And so they helped us with delicious food. We had dancing all night, raffles. This year I'm excited. We're going to have some game tables. We're going to have a really cool photo booth. But it's really just a great way to get people out, raise funds for our community so we can increase the amount of grants we're giving out. What you see over the last year is we've been able to fundraise more. We've been able to, you know, engage with more donors, so that makes Madison's job a little bit easier. So there's more funding and more ability to reach more nonprofits. So we're really excited about it. Tickets are going to go on sale in September. But right now we're really looking for sponsors. I think it's a great opportunity for people to not only market their brand, but also give back in an impactful way.
Now, how much are tickets?
They're going to be $75.
Okay.
Yeah, so not too crazy, but you will go home full and happy and probably tired from dancing. But this year's theme is actually Mardi Gras, so we're going to have some like New Orleans style food. There's going to be some beignets. It's just going to be a really exciting night. We're also going to have a fun signature cocktail. So it's really just a great night to get out, dress up, and have fun with your friends.
Cool. Now, if a local business wants to help out or maybe sponsor an event, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so they can reach out to Middlesex United Way. They can email me. My email's whitney.mooney@middlesexunitedway.org. We're currently looking for sponsors, but another thing that we do that I think is really exciting is we work with the funded partners to do volunteer opportunities. So we have a day of action coming up on July 23rd that we're looking for corporate companies to come in and, you know, spend a day volunteering with their employees. It's a different way of engaging your employees, getting out in the community, you know, bringing back some values to the to the company, and make sure that people just, you know, really see like how they can make an impact.
Now, what are you looking forward to in the next few months ahead of the Middlesex United Way?
Sure. Right now, I'm really looking forward to, because we just sent off all of the award letters, I'm looking forward to getting together all of the new funded partners. So we hold a partner breakfast once a year to kind of celebrate our new awardees, to give them an opportunity to get to know each other, but we also use it as an opportunity for networking, for kind of fostering interagency collaboration within the community. At Middlesex United Way, we talk a lot about being part of the fabric, but we also like to be a part of creating that fabric. And by doing so, we're building connections between nonprofits, and we're identifying areas of support that they have themselves that we can find ways to kind of fill those needs.
Yeah, I'm just excited for the end of the year. Obviously, the Masquerade Ball. We're actually doing another partnership with Surfridge Brewing in Essex. They're creating another beer to dedicate to us for the fall. So I'm just excited to get out there, spend time with our donors, get to know new potential supporters, and, you know, see how we can make an even bigger impact in Middlesex County.
I was going to say, let me know when the event is Surfridge.
I will definitely let you know. I'm so excited about it. I'm a beer person, and I love craft beer. So it was a really cool moment to like get to sit down with them and say, okay, how can we bring my two favorite things together, beer and fundraising. And it's been really cool working with the owners of Surfridge. They're very community minded, and they want to give back. They've been doing charity beer since they started in Essex. And
really?
So the fact that they've done two for us in the last year, it just means a lot to us. You know,
I've actually never been there. I haven't been there yet.
The food is delicious. I mean, their pizza is to die for. The beer is great, and every time I've been there, just the energy, Like everybody there is just nice. The bartenders are nice. Like it's just a really great space. So I highly recommend checking it out.
I was gonna say, last time you guys did your event, I actually had something else on my schedule that night, or else I would have been there. But
well, hopefully you'll be there for the next one.
Absolutely. And Bill might even show up.
He's always there with camera in
Very
hand.
likely.
So if people want more information on the Middlesex United Way, where can they go and what's on your website?
Sure.
Probably everything.
There's a lot of information. Bill has done a lot of work on our website within the past 2 years, but you just go to our website, middlesexunitedway.org. We have information on the towns that we serve. It gives our mission, our vision statement, as well as our values. There's information on the Community Impact Grant program as well, how you can go about applying, all of the information on the whole cycle with dates and the schedule, and then there's more information on the events that Whitney's been working on. And then there are opportunities to volunteer as well. So Bill has put in our calendar, but they can also submit a form if they're interested in volunteering. They can sign up for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys sound like you're busy and up to a lot of fun things.
Busy, but it's impactful. Yeah.
I actually want to thank you guys for coming down. Bill Hall's going to do a walk-on cameo.
Okay.
So come here.
Over here.
Come here. This side of me.
Okay.
So on behalf of Bill Hall, Whitney and Madison, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks. Good night, and we'll see you next week.